Welcome into NFL Daily. Kim Rogers with you, Tom Downey alongside. We've got you guys covered for the next hour. And Tom, we'll start things off with the latest NFL rumors here on the show. And we'll take a look at what's going on with the Carolina Panthers right now. They won't add a veteran quarterback.
Yeah, three heads on this one. It does seem pretty likely that Carolina won't look to add a veteran, which is just weird to me. Look, Derek Anderson is not the world's greatest quarterback. We know that. But look at who else they have on their roster, Cam. It's Garrett Gilbert, Taylor Heinicke, and undrafted rookie Kyle Allen combined, Cam. Those guys have one career pass between them,
wow.
And it came from Heinicke last year with Houston because they just had no more quarterbacks down the stretch. This seems like a really bad idea to me because if something bad happens to Cam Newton and if he goes down with an injury, season's over. Like, they're not going anywhere with those guys on the playing quarterback for them. Now, I don't know how much further they would have gone with Derek Anderson, but if it's like a short-term 4-game injury, with Anderson, you can win a game or two. With Gilbert, Heinicke, or Allen, I don't think you win a single game. That's the difference between making the playoffs and getting left out altogether. So I think it's a really bad idea. Hopefully they end up changing their minds.
All right, so 3 Goodell heads there. Let's get to rumor number 2 now. Mychal Kendricks down to 3 teams as he searched for a new squad out there, Tom.
This one does seem likely, and he's taking visits or has taken a visit with these 3 teams, the Vikings, the Raiders, and the Browns. I'll make note right now of the Vikings because his brother Eric plays for them, also a linebacker, just signed a big contract extension there. I think that'd be fun for Mychal. I also don't know if the playing time is quite as available there as it is, say, a team like the Raiders, who, yeah, they brought in Derek Johnson and Tyre Whitehead, but I think Kendricks would get some more reps with a team like, let's say, the Raiders than a team like Minnesota. But, Cam, I know that you want him with the Vikings.
Absolutely. I love the Minnesota Vikings defense, top down, secondary to defensive line. But they add Mychal Kendricks. The Vikings will win Super Bowl 53. Tom, you heard it here first.
I don't know if that's much of a difference there, but okay, I'll just give you that one.
Let's go to rumor number 3 here on the list. The Browns may be trading a wide receiver. They already traded a cornerback recently. Tom, what are we giving this?
It could happen. We'll give it 2 heads firmly in that rumor category. The Cleveland Plain Dealer reports that the Browns could try to trade somebody, especially if there aren't any injuries, because they got Josh Gordon and Jarvis Landry, and they drafted Antonio Callaway and Damian Ratley. So all of a sudden, you're kind of too many guys at the wide receiver spot. They're not going to carry 7 guys. If that's the case, all of a sudden, someone from the 2016 draft, Corey Coleman, Ricardo Lewis, or Rashad Higgins, you would think one of those guys are kind of in danger of being cut. Now, Coleman has the highest asking price, and there was the report earlier this year that the Browns could trade Coleman, quote-unquote, for the right price.
Right.
Of course, what is the right price for the Browns and Corey Coleman? I don't know what that is. But if they're going to cut somebody, you would think they'd try to trade someone like a Lewis or Higgins right before the roster cuts are made official and final.
All right, there's a look at the Browns wide receiver depth chart there. Yeah. Pretty top-heavy right now. Yeah. Jarvis Landry, Josh Gordon, bit of a drop-off.
And you would figure Antonio Callaway makes the roster, maybe a Damian Ratley. All of a sudden, there are your 5 guys. If Jeff Janis makes the roster, one of those bottom 3, I would imagine Lewis or Higgins, ends up getting the short end of the stick.
All right, there you go. Let's go to rumor number 4 here. Sam Darnold perhaps starting for the Jets in Week 1. Tom, should we slow our roll here?
Just the one head. Now, there is some truth to it, namely that Darnold on Tuesday's OTAs actually got the most reps among quarterbacks with the first team. So you take that and read, oh, he's the starter then. Well, not really. Todd Bowles says don't read anything into it here. What's going on is that the Jets are going to rotate everybody. So Darnold might get the most reps on Tuesday, but on Wednesday it'll be Josh McCown. And then on Monday or Thursday, whatever, Teddy Bridgewater gets the most first-team reps. So in the end, they're all going to take even time with the first, second, and third team. Everyone gets reps, but don't read too much. And in the end, Kim, I think that's the right decision. I don't think it's a good idea to start Sam Darnold right away. I think he needs some time to learn and develop behind a vet like Josh McCown.
And we're asking you guys as well, should the Jets start Sam Darnold, particularly in Week 1 of the regular season? And Tom, when you have the luxury of a stopgap guy like a Josh McCown, and heck, a veteran like Teddy Bridgewater, why rush things?
And I think McCown is the perfect stopgap for Sam Darnold. McCown has made it very clear that he wants to help develop Sam Darnold. McCown said the best thing he could do for the Jets this year was that in a couple years, Sam Darnold is an all-pro. That's what you want to see out of your veteran quarterback.
Selfless player.
Perfect.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to rumor number 5 on the list. Is Antonio Gates going to return to the LA Chargers? It makes sense,
Maybe.
Tom.
And if you ask Phillip Rivers, this would really end up being 4 heads here. So I don't know if that's going to end up being the case, if you'll actually see the Jets make a decision and bring back Antonio Gates. It's just 2 heads two heads here for now. I just don't know what they'll end up doing, because you would love to see them bring back Gates, because there's nothing else at tight end camp. You got Virgil Green, who can block, and then nothing else. Because the reality is, the other players on the Chargers roster at tight end, I'll list them off here. Sean Colkin, Braden Bowman, who didn't spell his own name right, Cole Hunt, and then Ben Johnson. Yes, Cam, those are all real players, but are those really the guys that you want on the roster? Because I guarantee you most people have not heard of those players.
I look at this roster and I wonder who the heck is going to catch the ball.
Most of these guys aren't real. And frankly, I think that if you ask non-Chargers fans who these people are, no one's going to know. Mm-hmm. And even some Chargers fans I don't think will know. These are all real players, but you don't ever want them playing big snaps. So, yeah, if I'm LA, I'm bringing back Gates, if only for passing down situations, because Green's a great blocker, not a great pass catcher, though.
All right, let's go to rumor number 6 here. Terrell Owens to the Kansas City Chiefs. Tom, the comeback isn't happening.
No, it's not. It's fake news here. This comes to us from Terrell Owens, and there's a lot to break down. Now, I know you're a big T.O. fan, Cam, and you like this idea. It's a terrible idea. Doesn't make any sense. So T.O. is talking on with Pat McAfee, the former Colts punter, and McAfee threw out some teams like, oh, you go join them and compete for a playoff team. And then T.O. says, ooh, or the Chiefs. Andy Reid's over there. They're in the playoffs. They were up big. And then he says he's a fit because the Chiefs lacked a big play receiver or somebody to draw attention so the other guys were able to operate and move the chains. Because apparently Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And they also didn't sign Sammy Watkins.
Don't get that argument.
Doesn't make any sense at all. I think this is just classic T.O. doing T.O. things, thinking he can still make an impact in the NFL. Cam, I'm sorry. It doesn't make any sense.
Comeback season,
no,
SZN.
Yeah, producer Brett loves that.
Fake news there on Terrell Owens, according to Tom, but maybe not so much me.
It's definitely fake news.
Let's go to rumor number 7 here. The 49ers, do they not want Dez Bryant?
This one does seem pretty likely, and the report from Tom Pelissero of NFL.com was that, yeah, maybe Dez wants to go there after that deleted Instagram comment, but the Niners really like their wide receiver group. They drafted Dante Pettis. They have Pierre Garçon. They have Marquise Goodwin and Trent Taylor and even guys like Richard James that they drafted. They don't want to bring in Dez Bryant. So I believe that. Now, maybe things change, specifically if there's an injury, but I just don't think Dez is going to end up at San Francisco, even though I think that'd be a very good fit for him, because I'm not quite as high on the Niners depth chart at receiver as they seem to be.
Yeah, I think they have a lot of talent, especially in the lower tier there. I think Aldrick Robinson is an okay player, but Kendrick Bourne can make some noise. Trent Taylor perhaps has a Pro Bowl ceiling.
I think all the players you just mentioned are not as good as Dez Bryant. So now there's something to be said about wanting to go with the young guys, wanting them to get a chance to emerge, but I think Dez Bryant would be a nice fit in San Francisco. Maybe he could actually be their slot receiver. You hold off on Trent Taylor for one more year, letting him truly become the guy there long term.
All right, folks, let us know, where will Dez Bryant sign this offseason? Hit us up in the comment section on Facebook Live as well as YouTube. All right, next rumor on the list here. Randy Gregory, has it happened? Has he filed for reinstatement?
Yes, he has, and it was kind of weird because there was all the all the buzz about, oh, Gregory's going to apply. He's got like 2,000 pages of documents, and Chris Carter is supporting him, and celebrities are supporting him. And it's going to happen on this date, and it's going to happen, okay, it didn't happen now, it's going to happen tomorrow, and then the day after that, and it was like,
I swear.
Okay, yeah, I swear, when is it going to happen? And it was never actually announced that Gregory applied for reinstatement until Stephen Jones said yesterday that, yeah, I've applied, or that Gregory has applied for reinstatement. It was just kind of like thrown in there low-key, like it's in the NFL's hands now. So yeah, Gregory has applied for reinstatement, and now he plays the up to 2-month waiting game as to whether or not he will return. Good news for Gregory is that he's going to have evidence that he hasn't failed a drug test in months. So Cowboys fans, some good news here for you on that end.
All right, how about some news surrounding the safety market, Tom? And perhaps Tre Boston could be heading to the Arizona Cardinals. In fact, he's flying out there, according to sources.
I actually like this idea quite a bit because I think Arizona needs more safety help. They have Steve Wilkes, who has some ties to Tre Boston, and because they spent some time together in Carolina. They have Antoine Bethea, they have Budda Baker, and then Rudy Ford. They didn't really replace Tyrann Mathieu. I think Boston can help on that end. So that's just kind of where I sit here overall. I like the idea.
Yeah, so Tre Boston there. He's an interesting piece, and I think he actually had a fairly solid 2017 campaign. It's actually sort of amazing, Tom, that Boston's market has been so slow, and the safety market in general has been very slow. Kenny Vaccaro is still out there. Eric Reed is still out there. Of course, he was brought in by the Cincinnati Bengals. He's got that ongoing grievance case against the NFL. But perhaps Tre Boston could go on over to Arizona, be a big piece of that secondary there. And I like the point you made about the Honey Badger no longer being there with the Cardinals, now a member of the Houston Texans. So Tre Boston could perhaps be heading to the Big Toaster.
I think it makes sense. It's a move that I would actually very much like to see happen, Cam.
All right, so 2 Goodell heads there on Tre Boston. Those are your latest NFL rumors here on NFL Daily.